Something is wrong. Quickly, Commander!
All I heard was screams and people dying. I didn't do it.
It seems your words be true. More than you are guessing.
It is talking.
The time has come for us to begin the joining. Ole sent a dozen wardens to the vigil to await your arrival. Nearly all died in the attack, but Kristoff is still in the field. A fortnight ago, he left in a bustle. As best we figure, he went to the city, Amaranthine.
Just thought that my father's murderer would be, more impressive.
The right of conscription? On the prisoner?
You really want to house a Grey Ward? You are a very strange woman.
Commander, the Lords of Amaranthine have come to swear fealty to you and the Grey Wardens. These were Al Rendenhau's vassals. Now they will be yours. Al-Hau was enough of a bastard to do that all on his own. But it is possible he had confederates. Some of these lords bore Rendon no love, but others had their prospects ruined with his demise. Tread carefully, Commander. Lords and ladies, I present the Warden Commander of Ferelden and Arl of Amaranthine.
Commander.
Ban Esmerel of Amaranthine. As is old custom, you have the honor of beginning.
I promise that I, Ban Esmerel, will be faithful to the Arl in matters of life, limb, and earthly honor. Never will I bear arms against her or her heirs. So I say, in the sight of the Maker.
I promise that I, Lord Edelbreck...
And so, the ceremony is complete.
Long live the Warden Commander!
Warden Commander, we've all heard so much about you. So many good things, unbelievable things. But many of your deeds cost people here a chance at great advancement. So many fortunes were deeply intertwined with the old Arl. Some nobles here, they seek to end your dominion over them. I wish I was less certain, sir. I've had occasion to intercept some of their missives. They are cryptic things. Any individual message is unintelligible, but together they form a pattern. They mean to end you before you can begin. A deadly coalition. Given a few days, I can retrieve the messages. I would have brought them tonight, but I didn't know if warning you would be wise. I've much to lose and precious little to gain. Farewell. We will meet again soon.
Honored to meet you, Warden Commander. You come to us during desperate times.
Not more about your precious farms, Edelbreck.
Some in our Arling do not have the comfort of city walls. On the plains, the situation is dire. So you remember me, young Kuzland, although you're not so young anymore. I swear to you and Andraste I had no part in Hau's treachery. My concern isn't that, however. As we feast, the peasants on our lands are starving, or worse.
The city's defenses are more important, Edelbreck.
There may be wheat in the silos now, but if the farmers die, where will you get your food? Thank you, my liege.
I see that Lord Edelbreck wastes no time in canvassing you for soldiers to defend his farms. Do not be deceived, Commander. His livelihood is all he cares about. Amaranthine is the jewel of the Arling, and she must be protected. Pragmatism. A farming hovel can be rebuilt with straw and mud. Amaranthine was built over generations. If she falls, then this great Arling will be diminished.
Wealth is well and good, but what measure do you put to human life? The folk in the country outnumber your city dwellers many times over.
I would not be so vulgar as to violate the decorum of this event. Commander?
Let me know if you want the nobles cleared out. If you want the ceremony to end, I mean. Edelbrecht speaks truly, sir, but things are dire. He and Ban Esmeralda both contest the deployment of soldiers. But we don't have enough men. It's a matter of what you want to protect. The city, the land, trade. As you wish. Do you know the conspirators? The right of high justice is yours, and treachery is a capital offense. She's a sly one, Sir Tamra, but knowledgeable about such things. Better to be a touch paranoid than turning up face down in a ditch. To proceed, we'd need strong proof, and that'll be hard to gather. There are options, some I would not recommend. They could turn the nobles fierce. We could have some soldiers try to spy on the nobility. I suppose that might bear fruit. There are also rumors of someone called the Dark Wolf, who finds information for a fee. Dangerous fellow, by all accounts. Not bleeding likely, in truth. Good men, lousy spies. No idea, honestly. Somewhere in the foreign quarter of Amaranthine is all I know. You could invite a member of each of the noble families to stay as prolonged guests. And if anything untoward happens, well, you get the picture. This is a terribly Orlesian thing to do. You need to head to the city then, and chase down a ghost. As you wish, Commander. Clear the hall. The Commander has business to attend to.
I don't mean to alarm you, Commander, but it's possible there are still Darkspawn in the Vigil. Let me explain. You know Dworkin? That mad dwarf's bombs shook the whole keep. Some of the deep cellars caved in. I suspect that there are pockets of Darkspawn below, trapped. In time, they may dig their way out. Straight away, sir. Here we are. The Vigil goes deep. Real deep. The hallways down here have been crumbling for years and decades. And that blasted Dworkin's explosives didn't do the structure any favors. I don't know, but no one saw the Darkspawn approach on the surface either. Maybe they found a way to attack from below. You heard the Commander. Put your backs into it. This is where you come in. Who knows what's up ahead? We'll be back here.
Wear robes, do you?
Not when I'm naked, I don't.
I mean when you run from the circle. Robes would make you easy to spot.
So does the big I'm a mage sign around my neck. I like to make it easy for the Templars.
Ah, so that's how it's going to be. She was like a mother to me. We must save her.
Your mother ever tell you not to mess with dead people?
Is this what I think it is? It is. That's the Howe crest burned into the wood right there. This is my grandfather's bow. Or rather, my grandfather was the last to use it. It was originally made for an ancestor during the Exalted Marches. Well, my father hid it away, I guess. I'm surprised he didn't simply have it destroyed. I remember finding it before Father sent me to the Free Marches. A shame for it to sit in storage. Thank you. It's good to have a part of my family's legacy again. Something to be proud of. No. No, Adraya. We have to help her. There must be some way. Adraya.
I see enemies ahead. You murdered a slew of Darkspawn there. Well, you hear the stories about you and the Wardens. But to see it firsthand... Oh, they did too. Even though the attack was a surprise, they killed droves of Darkspawn. Just ask the poor maids who have to clean it up. But you're something else. Anyway, it looks like the explosives caved this section in. I brought along Master Voldrick.
So, this is how you humans ply your stonecraft. Disgraceful, that is. What, this would barely last a few centuries. I wager these passages may go far enough to connect to the deep roads. The Orlesian lads would have had a terrible surprise. Explains how experienced men fell to the Darkspawn. This is a grave matter. If we don't shut these tunnels, the Darkspawn can attack from below again.
Andraste's blood. There are basement entrances throughout the keep. There's no way to defend against that.
Then we follow the tunnels and hope to find a single point to block off. Never you fear, lass. With the Warden's muscle and my stonecraft, we'll find a way.
We'll need some time, but as soon as we clear it, we'll let you know. Of course.
How do the Templars always find you, Anders?
Incredibly angry. That's how they find me.
There must be some trick to it, surely.
They began recruiting women. The male Templars never stopped to ask for directions.
You're impossible to talk to.
I do my best.
Commander, so this is human construction, is it? My brother said you'd need a stonemason, but he didn't know the half of it. You're too kind. The Darkspawn did a number on this keep of yours, but I suspect it was crumbling well before they showed up. Your seneschal gave me some fancy decree promising men and monies to fix the vigil, but it's a paltry sum. I suppose it would be sufficient to reconstruct the walls to human standards, but who'd want that? I'm not certain of the character of the stone in these parts, but we'd need more men for certain. Proper skilled men, not some starving dusters, right? Which all boils down to coin, really. It will be, Warden. Good luck to anyone who tries to breach these walls. Ah!
Samuel! Groundskeeper Samuel! Is that you?
Who? Maker's breath. If it isn't little Nate. I'd know that face anywhere.
Groundskeeper, I am overjoyed that you stayed on. Please, do you know how my brother died? And my sister? I was in the Free Marches.
Your brother died in the war. And Lady Delilah, don't you know? She isn't dead, son. Not that I know of. Last I heard, she married a storekeep in Amaranthine. Don't know which one. Poor girl.
Did you hear that? My sister is alive. I knew about my mother, and heard my brother might be dead. I suppose I just assumed that Delilah was dead too. Could we ask around the shops next time we're in Amaranthine? Thank you. I would be interested to know just what happened to her.
The whole quiet and stoic thing must get you a lot of action, huh?
I take it you're an admirer, Ogren.
What? No! No. Well, not unless... No!
Good. Then I needn't worry about getting too drunk at camp.
Okay, I like you, just not in that way.
Oh, look at the cute little kitty. There was a mouser in the tower named Mr. Wiggums. Only company I had when the Templars locked me up. Miss that beast a lot sometimes. But I can't keep a cat. We fight darkspawn for a living. I suppose. Well, I'll keep him just for a while, until I find somewhere safer. Is that okay with you, kitty? I'll call you Sir Pounce-a-lot. You can stay in my pack. Just for a little while, yes?
You know, I'm actually not the first How to be a Grey Warden. Following in my grandfather's footsteps, more like. His name was Padric How. He joined the Order before it returned to Ferelden just after the war. Never contacted his family again. Just vanished. Now that I know about the joining, I think he died. I know that now. Father always said he was a horrible man for abandoning the family to join a pointless cause. I grew up ashamed of my grandfather. But now I see his bravery. That will take some getting used to. There isn't a blight now, either. That doesn't mean Grey Wardens aren't still needed. I told you that the bow you gave me was my grandfather's, didn't I? Thank you for that. At any rate, we should probably get back to it. There are darkspawn to kill, I'll bet. Somewhere.
People talk about me stinking up the joint.
What are you on about now?
Cat piss. Little kitty there makes me want to vomit.
Don't listen to him, Sir Pounce-a-lot. You smell just fine.
They used to display the heads of traitors over that gate. I suppose my father is lucky his didn't end up there.
Looking for some company, honey pie? I'm always available for riveting conversations with fine women. I like a woman who's all business. Oh, you're one of those Grey Wardens. You find some darkspawn, and sure enough, the Grey Wardens come knocking. I can't take all the credit for finding the rift, you know. Mika here fell in first.
Would have been more useful to find gold deposits.
Oh, will you stop your belly aching? Well, it's quite a ways out of town. We were tracking a buck off in that direction, you see, before this darkspawn mess. We'd been on his tail for about a week at that point. I'd wager he thought it was great fun leading us on a merry chase as he did. Oh, the chasm, yes. We saw it coming over a rise. It was really something to behold. A huge cleft, as though the Maker himself had cracked the earth in two, like an egg.
I like eggs.
It looked like someone had tried to build over it, but it must have been abandoned a long time ago. No one in town knew about it. Well, of course, we had to investigate. That was when Mika fell in. A shriek like you wouldn't believe, and he was gone.
Earth crumbled, not stable.
Right. And as Mika lay there yelling about his knee or his head or what have you, the darkspawn appeared. More than a brood and less than a horde. They seemed occupied, like they had someplace really important they had to be. Didn't notice us at all, thank the Maker.
The Darkspawn was so occupied as to overlook 2 screaming injured men. Boggles the mind.
I marked the chasm on my map so we could avoid it, but sounds like you want to know where it is, so here you go. So, we getting anything for our trouble? Thanks. This'll get me good and drunk at the inn. Take my mind off the trouble out there.
My pardon, sir. I was paid a whole sovereign to give this letter to you. I told him I did. There are easier ways of getting a message to the Commander of the Grey. Some visiting knight didn't catch his face. Full helmet, you know. He said he was Sir Wolf of Ravane. Ah, the Dark Wolf's nothing but a rumour. Mind you, he was acting suspicious. No, sir. Again, my pardon.
Oh, it is so good to see you, my friend. I contemplated visiting you at Vigil's Keep, but things got busy. The College of the Magi is convening in Cumberland, and I must attend. Hopefully, all this will blow over before it's begun. But you have enough on your mind as it is. I shan't trouble you with this further. Very well. Then perhaps you should know that something stirs within the fraternities. The Libertarians wish to pull away entirely from the Chantry. And if they get enough support...
Pull away entirely? That's madness. I hate Chantry oversight as much as the next mage, but they can't just decide to leave. This is a recipe for disaster.
Well, it could turn out to be nothing, but keep your ear to the ground anyway. Now, I have a great many preparations to make before I leave for Navarra, but perhaps there is something you can do for me. One of my colleagues, Ines, has spent the last few months in the Wending Wood. The Circle has been unable to reach her, given the trouble in the area. If you happen to find yourself in the wood on your travels, perhaps you could tell her about the meeting of the college. Oh, who knows, rooting around in the dirt for some obscure plant or other, most likely. She has a keen interest in gardening. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant botany. Hobbies and eccentricities aside, Ines is a well-respected mage and a voice of reason, something we could use on our side. The hour is late and I must go. It was wonderful to see you again. Take care, my friend.
Something I can do for you, friend? And who are you supposed to be that's asking? Oh, welcome, my lady. Haven't seen that fellow Christoph for almost a week now. Not sure where he went. His room's paid up to the end of the month. I guess he expected he'd be here a while. Of course. Here you go. It's the last room at the end of the hall. If he comes back and gets upset, however, it's on your head.
All right, all right.
Looking to wet your whistle, stranger? We chatted a bit. He was a friendly sort for a Grey Warden. Spent most of his nights here drinking. Wasn't ever loud or too forward. Haven't seen him for maybe a week now. I think so. There were a few places he mentioned he needed to look. That might have been one of them. Said he was tracking some Darkspawn, one particular group that's been raiding outside the city. He told me they were acting strange, those Darkspawn. Acting obvious, like they wanted to be caught or something. I expect he caught them. Probably why he hasn't been back, right? We chatted, like I said. He's married, as I recall. My pleasure. Send him my best when you see him.
You're quite the dirty little dwarf, aren't you?
You're quite the dirty little mage.
I do my best. Still, I'm no ale-swilling mountain of belches like you.
And I'm no winking, slack-jawed coward like you.
True. We should form a club.
Oi, about time you showed up.
Nemea, you're still here.
I keep my promises. Here, turns out you were right. The cache is here in Amaranthine.
It is? You found it?
I did. What you do with that information is up to you. I, for one, am done dealing with mages. Word of advice. Don't let him sweet-talk you. He's very good at that.
I guess I should thank you.
Damned right you should. You get caught, Anders, I'm not helping you again. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose that requires some explanation. Do I detect a note of jealousy? Nemea is a friend. Last time I escaped from the tower, I asked her to look into some things. That's why I was in Amaranthine. The Templars thought I'd come to take a ship, but it was to meet her. During the Blight, the Templars moved their store of phylacteries to Amaranthine for safety. My phylactery is among them, Nemea learned. So long as the Templars have that sample of my blood, they can find me. I need to destroy it. What's to stop the Chantry from deciding mages and the Grey Wardens are apostates too? I want to be sure they can't ever find me again. Ever. I know we're busy killing Darkspawn and all, but the sooner we find this vial, the better I'll feel.